again to the That's Kind of Mid podcast. I am your co-host Sam, and this is Breyton.
Yo, what's up, guys?
And yeah, I think I just now thought of this. This might be like our record for most consistent like weekly podcasts released. This would be
Yeah,
what,
it's like
four?
yearly, every around the same time. We're like, dude, we should do the podcast, and then we'll do like 3 episodes and then stop. So this is the longest we went because the first one we did Hogwarts, then Last of Us season 1, which season 2 is out now, and then I think Destiny 2 Lightfall. So a little bit of a mixed bag there. Oh, and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumanium, but that was in the
Yeah.
Hogwarts Legacy. I don't even want to listen to that review because I think I was a little bit nicer on it than I would be now.
Oh yeah, like Ant-Man and the Wasp is such a filler Marvel movie, especially now. Like,
It
and it
has
felt
no
like it at
bearing.
the time
Yeah,
too. And it's even like I said with the whole like Kang story getting ditched.
yeah.
It's why would you watch the movie?
And then last year we did Dune and Dune Part 2, and
That's
it
good
was
that we did that.
solid. But yeah, this is our longest string of episodes that we've had.
Yeah. So just to I guess kick things off the way we usually do. What have you been up
Well,
to the
well,
past
I'll
week?
say first, if I usually put time codes in the description. This week we are going to discuss Daredevil.
Oh yeah, my
Also
bad.
a little bit of stuff on Last of Us and some news, but we always like try to start off with just what we've been up to, what we've been watching, what we've been playing. So Sam asked me what I've been up to is probably what Sam's been up to. Sam's been up to a little bit more, but we off the back of last week started a Minecraft server again. The 2 week Minecraft
Yes.
phase has started up again, and it's been fun. I mean, we got a few mods on the server just to ease of just quality of life changes, lighting up if you hold a torch, and portals, like we can make like custom nether portals. But it's been really fun.
Yeah, we've established roles, which I think's funny.
Yeah,
Uh,
I build.
yes, I craft. No, I create the like automation systems, which I mean is in line with what I'm gonna do after I graduate. So I guess that makes sense. And then
Sam has become our bitch because our one friend will just send him farms and be like, yo, make this.
hey, you know what's good though? That friend who says that will be like, also, any materials you need, grab it out of the chest. I don't
Yeah,
care.
he
He's willing to
doesn't hoard.
donate.
He does not hoard. And all I do is build, and I do the same thing. I just take materials from him and just build stuff. I could care less about mining.
Yeah. I just now, because we got the iron farm going, I just now consistently use. I'm just now starting to consistently use iron tools. I was just rocking stone tools.
And that's wild. We're like a week and a half into the server, and he's still been rocking stone tools, and all of us are in like diamond gear. But yeah,
Dude, I mean, I haven't had anything that like justifies me needing it. I've just been like building stuff. I haven't been like fighting mobs or anything. So I guess it's more convenient to use better tools to like mine stuff faster and longer durability. But well,
but yeah,
it is
that's
what it is.
literally all I've been doing is the Minecraft server. I haven't watched anything other than what we're going to talk about this week. I haven't no other games, no other movies, nothing.
I kind of went on a tear this week, which is interesting because school's also been super busy. So like maybe not the best lifestyle choices for me, but I've always said the best movies and TV shows happen whenever school gets the toughest. So like those are always combined. This week I guess proved that, even though it was more so on my part. I went out of my way to watch a lot of stuff. But I know this is a goal of Brighton's as well, but I kind of decided I wanted to watch all the like best picture winners eventually. So I'm working my way back. I've already seen Anora. I've seen Oppenheimer, and then I hadn't seen. I don't want to get this wrong. Is it Everything first, or is it Everywhere? Everything,
Everything,
Everywhere.
everywhere, all at once. Yeah.
Let's watch that. Great movie. Then I watched the year before that's winner, which was Coda. That was also great. And next is Nomadland, which I haven't gotten to.
I have not seen Coda or Nomadland. I have no idea what they're about, but I am also eventually will do the same thing. I was watching The White Lotus. I want to pick it back up, but we'll see how that goes. I'm not very consistent with TV watching.
Yeah, I mean, same. It's really, I think it's just been, I don't know. I kind of went on a hiatus of like not really watching anything, and now I'm getting back into the. So I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm continuing watching Freerin. That's an anime. That's really good. Then One Piece is back. I've been keeping up with that weekly. Pacing's a lot better now. We love to see that. Um, but that's pretty much it. And then aside from like the stuff that I know we're gonna talk about later, like Daredevil, Last of Us, stuff like that.
It's weird. You think with a delayed episode that I would have more, but like I have quite literally only been playing Minecraft.
Well, we also like I'm a full time student. Brighton's just, a full time worker. So, like, and bro is, like, married. So, like, beginning stages of family stuff. So, understandable.
But yeah, we also we were like, let's just delay the podcast by a day, and we'll just do Daredevil this week because we were gonna do it next week. But I think we might have a little bit more to talk about next week because they are doing Star Wars Celebration this weekend. So there will
Ooh,
hopefully be some interesting Star Wars news, maybe a trailer for the Mandalorian movie.
that'd be
And
cool.
I looked at the slate because me and my dad we used to go to all these, but this one's in Tokyo, which not that I have a problem with Tokyo. It's just that's a big change. Like I went to London, and like that's still an English speaking nation. I don't know about going to a fully different language country just yet. Like not for Star Wars. I think I would just do that as a trip. So,
Yeah, that's
so
fair.
so that's why I didn't go. But honestly, I mean, I looked at the panel slate. The only thing interesting really looks like The Mandalorian, and that movie. I not that I'm not excited for it. I just kind of feel very like eh. Like I'll
I
watch it when it comes out, but just
I
I'm not like kicking my feet.
I'm convinced there was no long term plan post season two with when it comes to the Mandalorian. Like, I think they had season one and two like set in stone whenever they started the show, but then after that they were just like, we don't know what to do.
No, I think they did, but I think Disney like railroaded them back into like you have to get Baby Yoda back in the show because he sells too much merchandise. Because
That could be.
that season two wraps up so perfectly, at least for like that chapter. Like you can continue Mando, just not with Grogu, but they did not do that, and I think it was to season three's detriment, especially because you had to watch Boba Fett, which was also not a great season of TV. So
No. Star Wars and Marvel are pretty equal in the fact right now it's like you're either going to watch like some of the best piece of television or movie that you've ever seen, or like some of the most, like, I'll be generous, I'll say like average shit that you'll ever see. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of a good example. Like Star Wars will spit out Boba Fett, but then like right after that they'll come in with, like, I don't know. I really liked Obi-Wan. I know a lot that that's probably not a good example. A lot of people don't like Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan's a very divisive show. I also liked Obi-Wan, but to say
I
that that was like
loved
top tier
Obi-Wan.
is not going to be a unanimous
I
opinion of
should
the
say
Star Wars
Andor, but
community.
I also like, I liked Andor, but I didn't like it
Dude,
as
I
much
would
as a
get
lot of other people.
flamed if I like Andor, but my preferable Star Wars TV is like Saturday morning cartoon vibes, which is why I love like Clone Wars, Rebels, and the Bad Batch. Those are like the three, like you'll never touch those series for me in terms of like unless they make another animated series. That's the
Gosh,
only time I'll ever put anything aside for Star Wars is to watch the animated stuff.
what was the TV show that came out not too long ago that was actually like really good? Like, people
Yeah.
liked it. I watched a little bit of
So
it. I
I
forgot.
feel bad because everybody like I'm part of the same group. I'm like, can we get away from like the Skywalker stuff and like just Dave Filoni being like, hey, here's a character from my animated show in live action, but then like Skeleton Crew comes out and it's that, and apparently it's good, but I just don't watch it.
I
Not
need to keep watching it. Like, I watched like randomly. It wasn't with you, some few of my high school friends. We watched like 3 episodes in a row, and we're like, you know what? Is it the greatest thing ever? No, but this is enjoyable Star Wars content, and you know what? We're fine with that. We like Star Wars. You give us a, at least a decent show. We can live with that.
TV shows I gotta lock in because I started Skeleton Crew and Creature Commandos, watched the first episode of both, and then didn't watch anymore. And I liked both of them a lot. Just didn't watch anymore. Same thing happened with the Wire. I watched like 5 episodes of that. Didn't continue. I liked it all. I liked what I saw. Just I don't know why it's I like squirrel brain. Like I see something new and then I'll start that and then I completely forget what I was doing.
Yeah, plus TV shows, especially really good ones, tend to take up a lot of time. Like, I don't regret watching Game of Thrones, but like, would I watch that in like a month, a little over? Like, and that's just like I was watching nothing else but Game of Thrones. Like, it's a time. It takes a
TV
long time.
shows are
Like,
a time sink.
I cannot imagine the people who watch One Piece like the entirety of it. Like, I read it, and that saves way more time, and it still felt like a big part of my life. But like, watching every episode is wild.
Yeah, that's why I stick to movies. It's you're in and out 2 to 3 hours. You're in and out, and you get a full story, and I like that. Not shading on TV shows because I love TV, but it's just a lot easier to do that.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's about all I've been doing is Minecraft. Wish I was
Yeah,
doing
same.
more, but I don't have time.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll get into the news for this week. Starting off with something I'm really excited for. Not sure how I feel about it, but I'm hopeful because their previous game, I also wasn't a big fan of the genre, and now it is my most played game. But Marathon got revealed by Bungie, and it's an extraction shooter. Have you ever played one of those?
Define what's extraction shooter? I'm an idiot.
Okay, then you probably haven't played one. Basically, you have like a stash, and you go in and you get like this high tier loot, and you fight like these enemies, but there's also other players in the area that are hostile and like can kill you and take your loot because it's permadeath. And basically, it's about building up stash, but like they're trying to build their own twist on it. There's a lot of Destiny influence in this. Like, you ever heard of Escape from Tarkov? You ever heard of that?
I've heard of it. I've never played it.
It's that type of game. I like Tarkov, but only with friends and only for short bursts of time because it is hyper realistic. It is the most realistic game I have ever played, and almost to a fault for me because I'm not like super into that style of game where like if I get nicked by a bullet, I have to stop what I'm doing and pour alcohol on it and then stitch up the wound and then like it. I would just prefer a little bit more chill experience. So I'm excited for Marathon because I like the idea of that type of game where it's a persistent thing. And I really like Destiny. You know, I wasn't a big fan of looter shooters, but I played Destiny, and now it's my most played game. People will probably flame me for that. I understand. I hate Destiny as much as you, but they are doing more interesting things because they're bringing over like their raid mechanics into this style of gameplay. So like you'll fight like world bosses that'll have mechanics and they'll drop cool loot, and I think that's like a cool system. And the characters and the art style looks cool, but that's quite literally all we know about it so far.
Yeah, I watched the trailer because you were like super excited about it, which I know you love. Bungie, always have. Which, I mean, I like the Halo games as well. But when I watched it, I was like, I don't know. Like, it's probably great if you're really into this sort of game. I don't know if I am. Like, even Destiny, like, I can play that game and realize it's great. But I also know that that's not a game I see myself pouring like a lot of hours into, especially by myself. Like, maybe with the boys, but not probably not by myself. And I figure this game will be the same way. 1 year from now, I could be eating my words. Who knows?
I hope it succeeds. And it comes out in September, so not too far away. They're having an alpha next week. I signed up for it. Hopefully I get in. The Discord actually crashed whenever I went to go sign up because so many people went to go sign up. But I mean that's really all I have to say about it. I'm a little bit more positive than other people are. Other people were like, "This looks like shit." I'm like, I wouldn't say it looks like shit. Maybe you got a different idea in your head, but they told everybody from day one it was going to be an extraction shooter, not a single player game. I do think it would be nice if Bungie would maybe like just knock out like a 4 player co-op shooter with a single player and then throw on a multiplayer mode there and just call it a day like the old days. I think there's a lot of wasted potential that Bungie's not doing there because all they do is live service games. But I mean, I don't run the company, so I can't make the decisions.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I wish the best for him. I mean, Bungie seems to be. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Bungie's one of those companies that, like, is at times seems like they're super in tune with the community and really like their fan base, and then at other times probably just like ghosts them. I have no clue.
Oh yeah,
That's
for
just what it
sure.
feels like.
For
So,
sure. They have like really transparent communication, but if there's like really big issues like within like Destiny 2 for instance, they will just not acknowledge it for like a while. But then other times they'll fix something like right away. So I don't know. It's such a weird thing. I'm sure
it's when
there's
they
like
feel like it.
multiple ins and outs. Yeah, multiple ins and outs there, but yeah. So we also the past few years there has been teased of an Oblivion remake. Nothing ever official, just like leakers basically being like they're making one, and everybody's like okay because Microsoft, whenever they were acquiring Activision, they were required to release some documents about like their fiscal plans or something, and in it showed in like 2024 there was supposed to be an Oblivion remake, and that was the only time anything was ever mentioned about it, and then it just came and went. 2024 went by nothing, and then last month one of the leakers was like, "Oh, it's releasing in April. Like they're just gonna drop it with no marketing." And everybody's like, "Dude, you're crazy." And then yesterday, somebody goes on the rumored developer's website, and they made this website with WordPress, not like a custom, nothing, just public domain. Somebody inspected the elements of the page and found where they store like all their images, and in the images was all this stuff for Oblivion Remastered. It had pre-order information, no release date, but apparently the release date is April 21st, which is next Monday, or it might get revealed on April 21st. But basically, the game's just going to drop. It's going to go onto Game Pass, but also onto PlayStation and PC. It's just going to come out, and that's going to be their marketing. Is that they're just going to drop it and hope it just makes waves. Which for me it will, because Oblivion's my favorite Elder Scrolls.
Yeah. I mean, this is like the great one of the biggest flaws in, my, I guess, life is the fact that I've never played an Elder Scrolls game. It's happening. It will happen at some point. I will do that before I die.
Oblivion. It's the perfect time.
And but I will say, like, I don't know. I feel like there's two sides of the argument here. I mean, Elder Scrolls fans seem to constantly want a new Elder Scrolls game. So that could mean one of two things. They see this and they're like, finally, something.
Something new, not just Skyrim again, but
Yeah,
now it's just another Elder Scrolls
that's
again.
what I mean. Or they're just like, just make Elder Scrolls 6. Why are we getting remasters? So I
But
don't know.
they
Like, it's
did
one of the two.
outsource this. They did outsource this. It isn't Bethesda doing it, and apparently they've updated the gameplay. Which, I mean, the game came out in 2006. Because I have a soft spot for this game because this was the first game I had on my Xbox 360. I got my Xbox 360 and I had like a stack of games because my dad bought it from some guy, and I didn't get to Oblivion like on the first night. I just played like this game. I think it was called Black. It just had bullet shells on it, and like 7-year-old me was like, "This looks dope." So, but then the next day, I booted up Oblivion, and that was insane to me because it's this fully open world story. And as a kid, for some reason, I was just like super into Lord of the Rings, not kids stuff, 3 hour character driven movies. I watched them over and over, and Oblivion felt so much like a Lord of the Rings game that like I had always wanted as a kid because I played the movie tie-in games on my PS2. But like this is probably what started my love for RPGs because they're my favorite games now, and it probably all traces back to this. It is such a good game.
Yeah, I'm still new to the RPG genre. I went a long time without like really playing a true RPG. But then, I played Breath of the Wild, loved the game, played Elden Ring, Dark Souls 3, Sekiro, which is I guess less RPG like Cyberpunk. So I'm starting to get
He's
more into RPG.
starting to
Baldur's
fill
Gate
out. Yeah,
3 as well. And
bro still hasn't played a Bethesda game, but it's coming. They're like they
Doom is technically, but that I know what you mean though. It's not
Doom
legit.
is published by Bethesda. So, but
I get you.
Bethesda, I'm a Starfield defender, but it's not their best work. Even though I think it's their best game. This is weird to say. I think it's my favorite Bethesda game. I'm gonna get flamed so hard for saying this. I think it's my favorite Bethesda game, but it did not have like the same impact as like Skyrim or Oblivion or Morrowind or Fallout 3 or Fallout 4. It didn't make the same waves. I think I just like it. I like the main story the best. I think everything else in the other games is better. There. That's my opinions on Starfield. But yeah, Skyrim is like the defining RPG. It set the standard a lot, so you have to play that one at least at some
Yeah,
point.
I will. And right now I'm kind of at a video game standstill because of Minecraft, and I'm not upset about that.
No,
I'm enjoying my
I
time with
don't see
Minecraft.
myself hopping off the server anytime soon.
But I will say, like, aside from a possible Last of Us 2 replay, and we'll get to that, I will. The next game I play I'm thinking it will probably be like Fallout 4 or something. Because
if
I need to
if
finish
if the
Cyberpunk. I'm on the
Oblivion
last mission. I've been
if the
waiting.
Oblivion remake actually drops, me
Okay,
and Hunter will be playing it. So
then I'll play it as
that'd be a
well. I'll
good
play it
one
as
to
well.
get into. That
I'll
would
play
be
it
a
as well.
if it's well done. As long as they keep the story the same and like the pseudo gameplay. I'm fine with beefing up Bethesda gameplay, but yeah, that'd be a good one to start out with. But to move on, to no surprise at all, the Minecraft movie has surpassed 500 million. It's on its way quickly to $1 billion. No surprise there.
No, I mean, in a way I respect it. Like they knew what they needed to do to make $1 billion, and that is just to like go full tilt on the brain rot. That's why you get Jack Black. Jack Black gets it. Jack Black walks into a movie theater to surprise people, and what does he say? He goes, "I am Steve," and then like says something. He's like, "You guys ready to see some chicken jockeys?" Like, bro knows. Like,
Dude, I work with some 40-year-old men, and they one of them took their kids to go see it, and he told me chicken jockey. I said, "What the fuck is happening? Like, what is going on? I hate it. I want it to be over."
I can't believe one of our friends he told me that he didn't think they'll make a second one. I was like, dude, there is not a universe where they don't make a
And
second
then
one.
like the next day, they actually Warner Brothers did announce that they're making a sequel. Surprise, surprise! The $1 billion movie's getting a sequel. Who would have thought?
I mean, hey, the only thing, like, if you like the Minecraft movie and love it, you're super into the brain rot, you think it's great to have all those memes. I can respect that, right? Like, it's a movie for that. But
Can you do it
I
again?
I don't that, and I understand having fun in the movie theater. I think this movie definitely allows for some fun, but like some of the stuff that's been going on
Oh,
is a little excessive.
the one people
Like
that brought an actual chicken to the movie theater and then just abandoned it after the
it's
movie. Horrible.
yeah.
Horrible. Some of the stuff that's been going on, people throwing popcorn and drinks and like I think like literally like puking and defecating on the floor and all this. Oh,
Well, one
it's
person that
horrible.
sat next to us may or may not have shit in the chair.
We don't know. He showed us a picture of like behind the chair and it looked like popcorn and it looked like it was like shit was on top of it. It could have just been melted
And
milk
also
duds.
there was
We
something
don't
smelled
know.
bad
There was something.
as well.
I don't want to know. He was like some 7, 8 year old kid. It's kind of one of those things. I'd rather be ignorant about it than it's the
Uh,
greatest like unanswered mysteries of life probably.
you know what? Good for Minecraft. Good for Jack Black. Good
But
for
yeah,
everybody, I guess.
moving on. Sadly, I love
Yeah.
Minecraft. I would talk about it every week. A new Star Wars game was finally announced. It's called Star Wars Zero Company. Have you heard about this at all?
No, what's it called? Star Wars what?
Zero Company. It's developed by Bit Reactor. Never heard of them, but they're also collaborating with Respawn, who did Titanfall and the Jedi games. So
I
very
mean,
good there. It's
I
going
have
to
no
be
clue what this.
a turn-based game.
Okay.
So I'm into that. I think turn-based is making a comeback after Baldur's Gate kind of showed everybody it's like, hey, these games are actually fun. They're not boring. Please play them.
Yeah.
So, because I think before that there was definitely a stigma around turn-based and
Unless
people
it's
didn't think it.
Pokemon.
Yeah, that is true. But I'm hoping we get a little bit more in the turn-based genre. I don't want every game to be turn-based, but for more of them.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. It looks cool. I'm getting like vibes of like a darker version of like the Rebels whenever I see this like like I guess
I think it's during the
poster. I don't
Clone
know.
Wars. We're going to get a full reveal at Celebration, so there'll be more to talk about next week. But I'm excited for a new Star Wars game. I would like Battlefront 3. Will
Yeah,
we ever get it? Don't
who
know.
knows?
That's
I
free
mean,
money sitting there. I don't understand.
yeah. When it comes to Star Wars games, the only things that are like popping off right now is the Jedi games. You know, Fallen Order, Survivor. Other than that, I mean, to my knowledge, the last one that came out either what last year was it? Wasn't that good? The Ubisoft
Star
game
Wars. Oh,
Outlaws.
Outlaws did come out last year. You said Star Wars game came out last year. So game. I played it. I liked it, but I definitely was more favorable on it than other people. But it's pretty forgettable, sadly. So, but yeah. Then Baldur's Gate got its final update. Speaking of Baldur's Gate, finally gets crossplay after nearly 2 years.
You would have thought
I
they would have added
moved,
that earlier.
yep, got it again on PlayStation just to play with PlayStation friends. And then they added a bunch of new subclasses, which makes me want to replay it because I've only played it the one time. I know some people that I have one friend, he just plays it over and over. That's all he does. Is he will just he's played every class and dedication to him. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. I played it a second time. I started a Dark Urge playthrough because I hadn't done that yet,
Yeah, I do want to
and
do Dark
I
Urge.
stopped for I couldn't tell you what reason, but I think I got to like Act 2 in the Dirge playthrough.
Dark
So
Urge to me feels like the like intended protagonist. At least I've never played it, but it feels like that because it's the only way for your custom character to have more of like a backstory there.
yeah, it's like it's not bad from what I played. Unfortunately, what's kind of sucks is I was doing it in order to like achievement hunt, get all the achievements. So like probably won't play it the way I would have otherwise played it. I guess I'm gonna play it that the route that allows me to get the achievements. But
Min maxing the playthrough, yeah.
well, I'm already played through it twice, and like heck, even if you do bum rush this game, you're looking at like 30 hours at least. So
Yeah, I don't know how you could get below 30. I would almost say 40 because, like, not that I was bum rushing my first playthrough, but like towards the end, I was not taking it slow because I kind of just wanted to see the ending because I'd been in the game so long, but it still took forever. Not in a bad way. I enjoyed the game. Definitely game of the year that year, other or Alan Wake. But then Harry Potter got their first official castings. Now, most of these people I do not know, but I do
same.
know John Lithgow as
I
Dumbledore.
do. And Lord, he's Lord Farquaad.
Yes, he is Lord Farquaad, and he's in Interstellar. It'll.
Yes, and he's in Conclave, and he's in How I Met Your Mother.
I
He's
don't
in a lot
know
of things.
how much the OG movies have influenced me because, like, Dumbledore to me feels like more of like a commanding presence, and I don't know if John Lithgow feels like that you know, but
Hold
Sam
up.
is the book
Hold up.
nerd here.
Yes, let me hold up with the iconic phrase in the books. No, but like seriously, in the books, Dumbledore's a very interesting character because I think in the movies like they capture both sides of Dumbledore. Like Dumbledore in the first two movies does a great job of being like the sillier, more relaxed Dumbledore, right? And then whenever that actor unfortunately died and they transferred to the different one, he felt more imposing and like felt like the cool side of Dumbledore that's doing like all these like, cool magical feats, fighting these cool battles, which, you know, begs the question of like personally, I thought that the Dumbledore that they had for Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of Secrets, those movies, was like the best Dumbledore you could have. But there's no way I could see that dude doing the
Yeah,
stuff
doing the
that
rest of
was
the
done in
movies,
like the
yeah.
sixth, like fifth and sixth movies. So I think someone like Jonathan Lithgow might like he could be like awful or he could be like the perfect one because Dumbledore is silly. He's supposed to be a goofy guy. So he's not supposed to be like just overly serious. Now he is like in the fourth book and past that really like more so once Voldemort comes back. Spoiler, I guess. I don't care. The books have been out, the movies have been out. I don't think it's a big deal. But when Voldemort does, also if you read the first book, like you can tell like within like the first like few chapters, okay, Voldemort's coming back. We just don't know when. Like,
Yeah.
anyways, I say all that to say this. I think, especially with the way he acts in Conclave, he plays a more serious role. I think this dude could be our guy. We just don't know it yet. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Because the only other actor I know personally is Nick Frost. And he fits Hagrid. He's just a soft, funny guy. Or at least the Hagrid I know, which is from the movies. I've only read the first three books. Because once they got too break sized, I kind of stopped.
People obviously aren't saying much about this now. I'm sure once this show releases, people will say a lot about it. But the actor for Snape is black. People will get upset about that. I don't know.
I don't think it really matters. As long as they fit the character, that's all that
I think so
matters.
as well. Like I've always said, the number one thing for me is if the story is good. If it is, I don't care what characters look like or what their sexuality is, if they're a guy or a girl. I don't care. One thing I will say though, because I do get it, if they like had like an open casting call, whatever, for Snape, they had all these guys come in, different race didn't matter, whatever, and they chose this dude as the best Snape, I'd be like, awesome. And maybe that is exactly what it is. But unfortunately, I do kind of feel like it probably was whoever it was in the writers' room was like, we need a black Snape.
Yeah, I could
And
definitely
I'm
see
like,
that.
I don't care if he does a great job as Snape. That's all I care about. And I think this dude can definitely do that. I don't think it's great like shifting a certain whatever type of person into a role like this. Like,
Yeah, sometimes I feel like they do it for PR moves, like
I
just
think so.
to get more clicks on like just
Plus, no
an
publicity
article,
is
for
bad
instance.
publicity. So,
Yeah.
like, some people, if they don't like it, will be like, ooh, my Snape isn't black. I'm going to watch it and then review bomb it because he's black. Similar to, not completely the same thing, but like with what Last of Us 2 is going through, or Last of Us Season 2 is going through now. Like, ooh, it's bad because Bella Ramsey doesn't look like Ellie from Part 2. It's
It's like,
like,
yeah, but she
but
acts like Ellie.
yeah, exactly. She's shorter than
She
Ellie, and
yeah.
but she acts like Ellie. Like, I don't.
She gets the vibes down, but we'll talk about that more in the we're gonna do a whole little Last of Us 2 thing here in a little bit. But yeah, these other actors I have no idea what they're in.
Me neither. They're
So
probably all British people. Watch
they
Doctor Who.
probably
There's
I think
probably
well,
stuff of.
isn't that like the requirement? Isn't that like you have to
It
be
should be.
British?
I
Yeah.
think it should be just because, like, I think British people can do American accents. I don't think
No,
Americans can do
American people
British
cannot do
accents.
British accents. Yeah, you could. There's a lot of people that like are in shows, and then you'll hear them talk in real life. It's like, holy shit, they're British. But
Hmm.
you know when somebody's American putting on a British accent, you can spot it because they're horrible. Same with
Yeah.
like people who aren't Australian doing an Australian accent, horrible.
Yeah.
So it's just English. It's just such a bland accent.
Yeah.
So
I have hopes for this HBO show. I know some people are like, "You, why are they trying to remake the movies?" I'm like, you know
we
what?
can
I
get
read the
more out
books.
of it.
I read the books. They skipped over a lot of stuff. I think that this could be the objective. Watch Harry
Yeah,
Potter.
yeah, we can get more out of it. So that's all that matters. And apparently, this hasn't been confirmed, but hinted at by the showrunner, Killian Murphy. I think it's Killian or Cillian. I never know. People say it
I don't know
differently every
either.
time.
I say Killian.
He might be Voldemort.
I hope so. That's goaded
That would
casting.
be perfect
Bro
casting. He
already has
gives.
the bony face.
Oh yeah, you don't even need the makeup.
Just cut off his nose. That's all you need
Yes.
to do.
Is his nose cut off in the books?
Yeah, it's not really cut off. It's just he's resurrected and he has no nose.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if that was like a movie thing to make him like look more villainous.
No, they just. It's just he's Slytherin because he likes snakes, so we're gonna make him have a snake nose.
Okay, well, yeah, just yeah, cut off Killian Murphy's nose, and then you're good. You don't need anything else. But yeah, that's perfect casting right there. If he's cast, that
Yes,
would be an
I
awesome
personally,
get.
I personally, and I think a lot of people wanted this was Adam Driver for Snape. I think that would have been goated casting, but I get it. He's American,
Yeah, that
so
is true.
like I
And
think that's fair.
also, he might give too much of it, like an Alan Rickman type performance, and maybe
Also
they're
true,
trying to go.
and I get that.
Maybe they're just trying to differentiate it, still get Snape down, but not just be like, oh, it's just somebody doing an Alan Rickman impression.
And,
Because I
and
think,
that could be why they casted a black actor for him as well. Who knows?
yeah, there's too many pieces for us to discern.
Point is,
But
I'm hopeful. I think we've heard no bad news for so far. I think only good news. So
yeah, I haven't heard anything that I'm like just super negative about. The main thing will be who the kids are. That's the
that
main.
they haven't announced the big three.
Well,
So
I think they gotta wait. I think they're getting the adults because you got to get these kids now while they're kids, and then you got to start going, or else
that's one thing that's badass about this show is I don't think we're gonna have the like 3 to 4 year wait
you
times
have
because
to.
you
Yeah,
can't. You're
I
gonna
mean,
have to do it year
look
by year.
at Percy Jackson's season 2 trailer. He sounds and looks completely different because they've waited so long.
I didn't
I
know they
shouldn't
dropped
say so
the
long.
trailer, but
Yeah, it's his voice has just dropped a complete like decibel. He doesn't sound the same at all because he's not a kid anymore. So that's why Harry Potter, you're gonna have to move quick. We need yearly seasons.
I mean they did that with movies, and I think movies are bigger productions than TV shows. So
Well, they used to be, but now TV shows like we're just gonna be an 8 hour movie. But I have more thoughts on that later once we talk about Daredevil. Star Wars. The guy who wrote and directed or show ran or whatever it was, Tony Gilroy, he said that Lucasfilm is working on a Star Wars horror project. I love
awesome.
horror. It's
Okay.
my favorite genre of movie. So see
I
this interests me. I want to
I feel like it could
explore.
be
Yeah.
an awful decision.
Oh, it could be awful,
So
but
I don't. I we'll see what happens with that. That's
I'm
an
here
out
for it
there
though.
news
I am
thing, but
here for it though. That's literally all we know about it. Just trying
Star
to
Wars
gauge your
horror.
reaction. But Sam isn't the biggest horror guy, but I
Yeah,
am.
and like also, it's kind of like when Marvel says they're gonna do a horror thing. It's like I don't know if that's in your like like I respect that you're stepping out of your comfort zone, but like maybe that's stepping too far. It could be a stay in your own lane type thing.
Yeah,
But
they said that
I don't
Multiverse of Madness was going to be a horror movie, and then it was not. So we'll see,
know.
we'll see. And then here we're almost wrapping up the news. Almost, Robert Pattinson might be in Dune Part 3. So to almost get away from Dune, Batman Part 2 is not coming out anytime soon, at all.
Yeah, that's a no.
The script is still not done,
I don't care as long as it's good. Like I'm
but
not like I would like a Batman too, but I'm not like foaming at the mouth over.
we are going to get an entire Dune trilogy in between Batman movies. So,
I thought Dune Part 1 was 2021.
yeah, like a month before Batman.
Oh, okay.
It was like they came out like within like 4 months of each other. So, like, I'm just going to, for dramatic effect, I'll say that.
Yes. I don't know. I like Robert Pattinson. There's not a movie I've seen that he's in that I haven't liked. Granted, I guess I haven't seen that many Robert Pattinson movies.
Now, he will be playing the villain if he is cast. So, we'll get a little bit
Spoiler.
of that one Timothy Chalamet movie where him and Robert Pattinson fought. We'll get that again.
The King. Yes, multiversal beef.
Yeah. So,
That movie's good. You need
but
to watch it.
I
People
will.
listening,
Yeah,
go
it's on
watch
my
The King.
list.
It's a good
Yeah,
movie.
I will. But yeah, that's literally all
It's
we
not
know.
about LeBron,
He
unfortunately.
might be cast in it. I would. I have read Dune Messiah. Sam hasn't, so I'm not going to talk about it because there's a lot of things that happen in there that I am excited for Sam to see. I don't think it's going to go in a direction that anybody who hasn't like read the books is expecting
Yeah.
the
I'm
series
gonna
to really go.
I'm gonna ruin it for everybody. Duncan, Idaho is back, and
Well,
we were
Jason
that's
Momoa did.
yes,
He did
yeah, and he
confirm.
he said that, and you know what? Like he's like, yeah, if you haven't read the books, that's on you. You know what? Maybe so, Jason Momoa. But you know what? Some of us, I don't know. Maybe I just need to read the book. Maybe
Maybe
maybe maybe he's right.
maybe it's a good thing they're not treating it like a Marvel movie though, and just hiding who all is going to be in it for the sake of
That way, it
hiding it.
doesn't feel like a cameo. Like, oh, he's
Yeah.
back.
Just be open about it. Be open and honest. It's fine. But yeah. And then Sinners, the new Ryan Coogler movie, debuted to 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I've been watching this movie very closely because I like all of his movies. And this movie looked pretty dope from the trailers, I thought.
See, I did not feel that. I watched the trailer and was like, this just looks like a lot of stuff's going on and it looks like it's going to be cheesy or something. But then I'll be honest, I didn't realize it was directed by Ryan Coogler. That gives me way more high hopes on top of the Rotten Tomatoes rating. And, you know, Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan are a dynamic duo. Some would say you can't have one without the other. At least you can't have Ryan Coogler without Michael B. Jordan. So,
He, I am very certain he's been in every single movie because I mean, like Wakanda Forever, he shows up for a scene. So also like the best scene of Wakanda Forever, maybe.
yeah.
So
I,
yeah,
uh,
I have high hopes for this movie. It
I have
seems
more hopes for this movie.
the letterbox reviews, people seem pretty positive about it. I think it has a 4.0 last I checked, which is
Yeah.
pretty. As long as it has above a 3, I would say that's good on letterbox. So we'll just have to see if we both watch it. We might do an episode on it, but we might not. No promises. You never know what episode you're going to get whenever the week comes around.
That's true. I mean, hopefully it takes down Mickey 17. That's my like movie of the year so far, but I feel like that movie can definitely be thrown. Like it was good, but like I wouldn't say like people should drop everything to go watch Mickey 17.
Praying for Superman to be the movie of the year, but
Dude, okay. This could be a hot take. This could be like a giant hot take. I think it's ridiculous that superhero movies aren't taken more seriously at like the Oscars. Cuz like let me tell you this. Superman may be movie of the year. That could happen.
will it win
But
Best Picture?
because it is titled Superman. If it was titled like I don't know, like Powerfulness and it was the same script but it was some random dude, but that just wasn't Clark Kent, it would be respected at the Oscars. But since it's a DC superhero movie, I don't think like Endgame. I don't know who won. Like I don't know what was nominated. I don't know what was nominated that year. But like I feel like Endgame. You can't tell me that every movie that was nominated in 2018 was better than Endgame. I'm not saying Endgame should have won. I'm saying it should have been nominated at least. I could be wrong. I'm looking it up before I get like destroyed.
Yeah, get destroyed by what did come out in 2019? Did Joker win Best Picture?
That would be fair. I gotta look up 2020 because it's like it's offset a year.
That's true. Yeah, did Joker win?
Okay.
I know he
I
won
will
Best
pause.
Actor.
I will pause. I'm looking at the movies that got nominated, and we got 1917,
Valid.
fair.
Valid.
Joker, fair.
Yeah.
Parasite, fair. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I haven't seen it, but it's supposed to be really good, fair. Little Women, supposed to be really good, fair. So, you know, maybe
Yeah, you got cooked. Yeah. I
never
don't
mind. Never
Yeah.
mind. Okay. Point being, though, and I think I would like to say some people should agree with me.
Okay,
Like,
was it at least nominated for Best Visual Effects? Cuz
2020 Best
you
Visual
should get like
Effects Oscar.
surely to God. What
Yes,
was
but then again, Rise of Skywalker got nominated, so like anybody
maybe there
can
weren't yeah.
get nominated at
Oh,
that
no,
point.
no, no. Rise
I'm
of
kidding.
Skywalker had good VFX. Was it a good movie? No. Did it have good CGI? Yes. You can
I had that budget, but dude, it was a sign. You said whenever I remember I worked with you that the day after you saw it, like the power went out or something. Like it
yeah,
was just
so
like
yeah, funny
the
story
universe
about
said
Rise of
that.
Skywalker. It, we were sitting there waiting for the movie to start. Movie finally, the preview start. The power goes out, or not the power. The projector just quit. It quit for like 2 hours. We sat there for 2 hours, and then eventually they came in like it's not gonna work. You just have to go to a different. You have to buy tickets to a different theater. We'll refund you these. So we go. We get front row seats to this one at like 10 o'clock, and then I just experience my least favorite Star Wars movie, and I'm like, this was not worth it at all. This was a sign that I should have just went home and saw it a different day whenever, but I
Okay,
didn't listen.
every once in a while, Marvel movies do get okay. Like 2018, Black Panther got nominated for Best Picture. I'm like, okay, maybe they don't get as disrespected as what I'm saying, but
Yeah, maybe you
I don't
should
know.
do your research before you
You know what?
make an opinion.
I'm clip farming. You know what? If we get controversy, we get clip farms.
Hey,
Okay.
yeah, but also, I'm pretty sure Angela Bassett was nominated at least for
She
like
was for something in Wakanda Forever,
for
deservedly
Wakanda
so.
Forever. Yeah.
She had a
So
great
did she
performance.
win? I don't know,
I think she
but I
did.
know she was nominated. So yeah, maybe you should just do your
I'm just an
research
yeah.
first. Yeah.
Maybe yeah. Maybe you know what? It's like there's some person listening that like watches the Oscars every year. It's like actually they are like well represented at the Oscars. You have no clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, I just look at the winners. I don't
I
watch
would be
them.
like, you're probably right. I will say Return of the King or like no Fellowship of the Ring didn't win Best Picture. I need to look and see
What
who I did.
won Best Picture of 2001? We're gonna get on a whole. See, this is a
This is the
good.
last one. This is the last one. Best Picture 2002. A Beautiful Mind. I've never seen it.
That movie
Maybe
sounds
it's great.
familiar. Okay, what? Here, I'll tell you guys what. Future episode, whenever there's nothing on this week, we're gonna do Oscar snubs. Okay, we're gonna
What
go
sucks is
through.
I haven't seen a lot of like some of the movies that get like Nomadland. I was like, dude, what's
What
Nomadland?
is
Watch the
Nomad?
trailer, and I was just like, okay, this looks like it could be goated. Same with
Yeah.
Coda, but like Coda is kind of like a stereotypical mom movie, but then they do like stereotypical mom movie fantastic. So there's that. All right,
Okay, we're
moving
out of the
on.
news. Moving on from the news, a little 45 minutes later. Last of Us Season 2 premiered this week. Now, we're going to do a full review once the whole season's done, but I just want to say I like what they're doing with this season so far. Expanding where you won't get to see in the games because it would be boring as hell to play, like Joel going to therapy. See, like
Yeah.
this is the sort of stuff I want to see out of an adaptation.
Yeah, I completely understand. I need to finish it. I've been listening to the Last of Us 2 or Last of Us TV show podcast. Troy Baker, Craig Mazin, and Neil Druckmann just talk about episode by episode as the episodes release, and it's cool listening to their takes on like how to do things. Like for instance, some people aren't happy that Abby isn't like as buff as what she is in the games, and like their I guess reasoning for why she wasn't was they didn't feel like it was super important because apparently the only reason she is buff is because Neil Druckmann wanted there to be like a difference in play styles and a difference of feels between characters, and Ellie's just kind of like, I don't know, like I don't think this is
It's
offensive,
tiny.
but like just the stereotypical like girl frame, I guess. Yeah, like
Yeah,
tiny.
she's
And then
tiny.
like Abby, she's like more the opposite. She's like kind of tall, buff, stuff like that. But they're like, since you're not playing as either character, we just cared more about how the character acted. So
Now, I will say,
I
we'll
don't like
not
that's fair.
spoil anything in the game in this part. We will try our best. If you're
Yeah,
afraid, I would just skip to Daredevil because we could slip up. But
I don't think we will. I think I have high hopes. I like the way they go. There
will
was
do you think some people will be mad about some things that happen in this season?
100%. All I'm gonna say here is keep your mind open. I'll just
Yes,
say that. Watch and keep your mind open, and don't make a snap judgment about the series until I don't know how they're gonna play it. Like until the part 2 story is over, however many seasons that lasts.
I think
I would just keep it
currently the
open.
part two is planned for 3 seasons. Now they did confirm a third season, and I think 2 seasons would be perfect. I can kind of see three, but
Depends.
three is
Yeah,
stretching it. But they are expanding on the game. Like there's going to be a whole attack on Jackson by infected, and that was not in the game at all. So there is going to be different things, maybe to pad the story out, because they did say they don't want to go past the games. They don't want to have a Game of Thrones situation where they go
yeah,
past the source material. But at least with the Last of Us TV show, you have the guy who wrote the games also show running the TV show. So if you did go back past the games, but I also respect it in terms of like you want to see the game part first. Like we don't want to see Last of Us Part 3 as a TV show and then play it. Like I want to play it first. If they make it, I would be fine if they didn't. Last of Us 2 ends on a perfect note. So
I agree. I'll just say, going forward with the season, realize that some stuff is going to happen that you're going to be upset about. Some characters are going to do things and you're going to be upset about them, but you should not be upset about them in a way that's like, yo, this TV show is bad. You should be oh, I'm upset because we are supposed to create hatred towards this character. We're supposed to be upset that this thing happened. You know what I mean? So, like, you're supposed to feel that way. That's not a knock against the show. That's actually, I would say, a plus for the show because it's making you feel a certain way.
you
It
feel
shows you're
something.
attached to the
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah.
I'll
And
say nothing else.
I will say the TV show is already receiving some of the hate. The I should say specifically the part two of the TV show is also receiving the hate that the part two of the game has gotten, because I looked on the IMDb just randomly like 2 hours ago, and this episode had like a 7, and the season one all had nines. Like all of them were in the nines. I'm like, this one was just as good as the season one episode.
I think a lot of the tanks are for the Bella Ramsey like casting. Like first of all, I thought everyone thought that Bella Ramsey was casted
Yeah,
like
she was
perfectly in the
good
first,
last season, so why
and
wouldn't
like
she be good this season? I don't.
I get part of it. Like if you want your adaptation character to look exactly like the original character, then yeah, I guess I understand why you're upset. What I will say is I don't think that matters as much as like the character that's being
As long as
adapted.
they
And
can,
like
as
she
long as
doesn't
they
look
can
so
play it.
far. And she doesn't look so much different to where it's like they just didn't care about that at all. Like the only beef is that she's short. That's the only thing.
Who
And to be
cares? Yeah,
honest, like if you see her and Dina's like the same height. So like,
Dina actress killed it.
oh yeah,
She got Dina down pat. that is the most I was really impressed last season with Bella Ramsey as Ellie, but like Dina I think is now my favorite casting. That was like
What you keep going? You finish your thought. I was going to say something, but you
she
finish your thought.
is bar for bar. She might be better than, we'll just have to see how the rest of the game, the show plays out, but she might end up being better than the Dina from the games.
What I would not do, and maybe this is, you already know this, but what I would not do is look up any like scenes that you saw in this episode on the game, because me and Brighton know this, because the one like whole scene in the I guess at the party, I
Yeah.
guess if you look up that scene, it's going to be like probably like 8 minutes, and you're going to be like, why is it 8 minutes? Because that scene is shown towards the, well, I don't want to spoil anything. It's not shown at the beginning of the game, and that's because right after that it transitions into another scene, which is like huge spoiler heavy. So don't
Yeah. Just
don't look that up.
just experience the show as the show if you haven't played the game. Now,
Yeah,
if you want to go play the game, but just don't look stuff up. So,
we're not trying to be invincible.
no. Yeah. But that's honestly all I really have to say about Last of Us 2. I'm glad it's back.
I think
It's
we're heading in the
excellent
right
TV
direction.
show. Excellent TV show. I'm excited for next week. Next week's gonna be one of the episodes that's gonna like define how the rest of the show is gonna go. So we'll just have to see. But yeah. Moving on, we're gonna get into Daredevil. So we are going to do no spoilers, then spoilers, because there are some things, not like super spoilers in this show. I would say there's nothing in the show. I'm like, if that I got told that, I'm like, but I definitely think this is, I'll just come out and say it, this is probably the best Disney Plus Marvel thing, at least for me, because it
Except for like
feels,
Loki would be the only competition.
Loki is the only competition this has. And for I'll talk a little bit about this. I'll go into this, just get it out of the way. It is no secret that the show pre had an overhaul. There was a pre overhaul and a post overhaul, and you can feel in some of the episodes what was before the new people took over, and then you can also feel whenever the people who took on after, because the scenes that were after the people took over are just so much better because it's actually being a season 4 to the Netflix show. And then there's another show going on in this where it's trying to just be a new like MCU Daredevil. So
See, I don't know. I didn't really feel like that
so
personally.
you didn't feel like Muse's episodes were just came and went. He just showed
True.
up,
It is weird how he got.
and it also didn't feel weird. Okay,
Uh,
this is going to be a minor spoiler, but you could almost just watch episode 1 and then skip to episode 8, because episode 8 is a direct sequel to episode 1, because the way they did this was they filmed 2 through 7. So they did 2 through 7, and then Kevin Feige was not liking where the show was going, because it was just, I don't dislike 2 through 7. I think it's good, but I think it's like that on its own would be like the worst season of Daredevil, just because it's kind of just like, it's kind of whatever. But then
fair.
they brought on these new people, and so they do episode 1 and then 8 and 9. So they do episode 1 to kind of set up a thing, and then they try to like restructure some things. Like they added like a Punisher scene into an episode because John Bernthal was not going to come back at all, because he didn't like the direction the show was going in. And then these new people came on. He's like, I'll come back. So they add Punisher into the middle of the season, just to, and his scene almost kind of feels out of place, because we'll talk about this more in spoilers, but the way Daredevil kind of like goes to Punisher kind of feels like a tacked on ending to an episode in a way. And I think there's a lot of ways you can tell that the show is, because okay, I'm trying to think what is a spoiler and what isn't. I like, is the first episode stuff spoilers or is it not? I don't know. I'll just say it just to get no spoilers out of the way. I do think the show is the best that MCU's done. The fighting is awesome. It's not, I would say it's not as good as some of the stuff in like season 3 Daredevil,
Fair.
because there is a CGI element to a lot of this, but whenever they don't use it and you can tell like there's like actual like practical work going into these fights, that was the best that the show has been.
I agree, and I get what you're saying with the whole like split up parts thing. Like now that you pointed out, I'm like, I see it, but I don't know. I loved this. It's it's nice to see the MCU win. It feels like they don't always win. It was nice that they did. As both of us are fans of the Netflix show. He he is my favorite Marvel superhero. Is it because he's Catholic? Probably, but so is Nightcrawler, and he's not my favorite superhero. So but anyways, I don't know. I just loved it. Punisher stuff is great. Like when the Punisher is on screen, you need to lock in. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It,
And
like
that's what I'm saying. Whenever these new people came in, it was like a completely different show, because like when you switch from episode 7 to 8 purely on like cinematography levels is insane. It felt like I was watching a different show. It felt like I was watching an episode of the Netflix show.
It's so good. I will say, for anybody who is interested, I don't think it's a bad idea to wait until season 2 releases. I say that because this feels very much like a part 1, and that's not bad in a TV
And
show
it is.
series.
It is. Originally, this was going to be an 18 episode
Mhm.
season, and it ends 9 episodes in because there's going to be 9 more.
Yeah.
Because it was gonna come out, but then they stopped the show, they scrapped it, they stopped filming to do this overhaul. So that's why.
Mhm. So like, if you want to watch it now because you've heard it's good, not only from us but from other people, like I'm pretty sure like everyone's saying it's good, go watch it now. Like, you're gonna have a good time. But if you are like, I know we have one friend who likes to just be able to binge a show and be done, not like have to wait. I think you're perfectly fine waiting because, like I said, it does end on a cliffhanger essentially. Like, not a steep cliffhanger, but a cliffhanger. So I don't know.
And if
I'm
you do want a
excited for
full
season
thing,
2.
if you do want a full thing in Daredevil, go watch the OG show. It tells a complete story. And
That's
if you're
true.
feeling it, you can watch all the Defender shows. A little bit of a mixed bag there, but Daredevil's good.
Daredevil. Oh gosh, dude, Daredevil. Like, you watch season 1, episode 1, and just get hooked. But I am glad that this dud. I'm glad this did feel like a season 4. I think that's what the goal should have been, especially since you like casted all these same characters. Like, don't try and soft reboot. Like, just
Yeah.
act like
Which
it's season
we'll get
4.
into it more in spoilers, but they were definitely originally going to head down that road. And I'm glad that they course corrected.
Yeah.
There's a shift in the season, and I think season 2 will benefit. Season 1, I think it's a good season. Like I said, it's the best Disney Plus show they've done. But season 2, with this new creative team and with what they did in the 3
Mhm.
episodes that they had,
And the set photos that have leaked,
oh
these
yeah.
people know Daredevil.
So yeah, season 2, it's as long as they keep up how the end of the season went, it's going to be the best. This will be the best season by far, and this already was.
Yeah, and I also will say the fact that how you can tell like there was other people working on it is Karen and Foggy are in the show, but it does feel like they did have people that were going to like you can tell originally they weren't going to be in the show and they had people who would take those people's places.
Yeah,
Like, there's a new
odd
love interest
choice.
in the
Yeah,
show. There's another lawyer friend in the show, and it's like I just want Karen and Foggy, bro. Like,
odd choice there to like for the original team to not bring them back. Like the original thinking, if they weren't going to be in the show, I was like, okay, well maybe it's set during like the blip and they got blipped. Like I was like, that could be cool, like doing like because we know Kingpin was active during the
mm,
blip, like due to Hawkeye. So I'm like, that'd be cool. Maybe seeing like Daredevil, like Kingpin's rise to power when everybody's like gone and like there's not as much of a societal structure. I thought that could have been a cool show, but they weren't doing that. And whenever I learned that, I'm like, then why aren't Karen and Foggy in the show? Because they're
yeah.
just as important to Daredevil as Daredevil himself. At least if you're going to continue the Charlie Cox one.
And you could tell 8 and 9 they fix stuff. I believe Karen will be making a bigger impact in season 2.
Dude, they locked in. They locked in. Like Bullseye
Dude,
wasn't even going to be in the show.
dude, I think like if what you said is true, this makes it sound like we're dogging on 2 through 7. I think
Two through seven's good.
we're not dogging on 2 through 7. It's good, but what I will say, like, if you were to just take the 2 through 7 direction without like the sauce, the Daredevil sauce that's in 1, 8, and 9, completely different show.
Yeah. And
And
like
maybe not looked on as
yeah,
fondly.
that I'm glad Kevin Feige was like, guys, we gotta just like we'll salvage what we can. When they do. But you could almost there's some references to stuff that happens in 2 through 7, but you could almost just watch 1, 8, and 9.
Because the Hector Ayala stuff, like, it's in like episodes 2 and 3. Awesome, dude. There's an interaction between Daredevil and Punisher in one of those episodes in there. Awesome interaction. So like,
The
there
Daredevil
is
and
some really good
Punisher
stuff.
interaction that was added later. They went back and they tweaked some things in 2 through 7. But 2 through 7, most of it was fully filmed before the pre-overhaul. 1, 8, and 9 are the only ones that are like completely new. So
If we can get 9 episodes of Punisher being like super active in the story, because he wasn't super active in this season, but if we do, dude, because like Bro popped off in the few times we
in
saw
the
him,
scenes he was in, yeah. So Punisher
dude.
is actually
John
going to
Barenthal's just
get
the goat, dude.
his own like MCU presentation like they did with like Werewolf
Good.
by
I need
Night.
to go back and watch season 1 and 2 of
So
Punisher. I've
yeah,
never watched it.
I've watched season 1. I have not watched season 2. So I am also going to do that because I think before I'm going to try before season 2 of this comes out. I want to finish the rest of the Defenders shows because
Valid.
I've watched
Because they
Luke
could show
Cage
up.
all the way, watched Luke Cage, Daredevil, and the Defenders, and I haven't seen any of Iron Fist, and I've only seen one season of Jessica Jones. So
Bring back Iron Fist, but do him good. I think the actor is a good actor. He's in Game of Thrones. He does great. But like give the production quality that Iron Fist should have had to Iron
yeah,
Fist.
not what you don't want to learn the fight scenes on the day for a martial arts based character.
And then like cut 50 times. Like just when you think the fight's gonna get cool, cut to something else.
Yeah. So
They
I'm gonna
could be
give it
shame. They
Daredevil
could be
thumbs up.
yes.
Daredevil's a thumbs up for me. But I guess we're
Uh
gonna move into spoilers.
yeah. Should you watch? Should you not watch? You should watch. But as I said before, you can wait till season 2. Nothing like the groundbreaking story concluding stuff will be happening in season 2. So you're fair to like wait until the entire show comes out.
Also, is it a new show? Yes, but also watch the original because you're
Do
going
that,
to be
yes.
lost. You're going to be
Plus it's good.
lost on a lot of history here, and it's also better than this for now.
I'd say so. Yeah, for sure.
For now, it's better. If they top season 3 of Daredevil, I'll be surprised. I'm open for it though. Like people are like, they're never gonna do that. It's like, dude, you don't want something better, but we'll just have to see. We will just have to see. But I guess moving into spoilers, I'll tell you one thing that really shocked me was how violent it kind of got towards the end. Holy shit, that
What
that one scene.
what? Oh, the with Kingpin.
Yeah, the Kingpin scene. Holy shit.
Boom. That's some like fucking Game of Thrones type
That felt like a
killing
scene
right
out of The
there.
Boys, dude. Like where
Or
it's
the
just violent
boys.
for the sake of being violent. I was like, oh,
Well, I just remember I was watching season 9, the last episode, and the way Kingpin was acting, I was like, dude, someone in this office is getting smoked. Someone is like, no, there's no way. Like, I was like, I forget what the black lady who's like his
yeah,
assistant's name is.
the city, whatever her name.
I
Yeah,
was like, it's her or the cop that's going, and then you saw that she clearly picked a side. I was just like, okay,
yeah,
disrespect to you now, but I guess you saved your life.
yeah.
I love. I don't think Bro's gonna survive. At least with the like next season. That's my like hot take going into the next season. But like Luca, I love his character. I love how he's like the blind follower of Kingpin.
Oh yeah.
I don't think Bro survives till the end of it.
No, I
I think
think
he'll like die
in
or
the
something
one
crazy happen,
part where
or he'll go to jail. I
he
guess.
Kingpin was talking about martial law, you kind of got a look on his face. I'm wondering if he's gonna get disillusioned by the Kingpin, and then the Kingpin will kill him because he's no longer like 100% on board.
Or this would be wild, but I don't think it's bad. I think if they really wanted to keep the Kingpin character around, but understand that like Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin's been around a while, like if we keep throwing Kingpin at people, they might get a little tired of it. I could see Kingpin dying or something, whatever it is. Luca, the role passes down to him. I think that would be cool. I don't know how you make that work, but I
Yeah.
think that possibility could be cool. I don't know.
That is saying if the Marvel universe goes on, because they also could just do a total
True.
reset after Secret Wars. We'll see. We'll see. Another thing, do you think any of this or vice versa will get referenced in Thunderbolts? Because Thunderbolts is set in New York, so we
I
have
don't know.
we have a New York that's under martial law, and then also we have a world-ending threat happening in New York. Is this
I,
going to be mentioned in
yeah,
Daredevil
and
season
like
2?
I'm someone who like this argument has been made ever since the MCU started. I'm one who doesn't really care because like really comic books it's the same problem. Take episode 9 of Daredevil, right? What's Spider-Man doing
Yeah,
during all this? Like
where is he?
where's Luke Cage? Where's Iron Fist? Where's these like 20 superheroes that just be chilling in New York? Where are they doing? What are they doing? I guess you could say they're getting hunted right now because they're vigilantes, but like they've been hunted before this.
Will
Like
that
this
be in
is
play at all in the next Spider-Man movie? No, this will not.
no. And
Nothing.
I think that's fine. Like, would it be cool if they could make it work? Obviously, right? Like, none of us are being like, oh, it'd be stupid if they
Why
made it make
can't Sony just be a Chad and let Spider-Man show up and kick some ass in the Daredevil show?
dude. Like, honestly, like, would it not be cool? Like, I don't need Spider-Man to be there, like, for the buddy cop show the entire season. I don't need that. Daredevil and
One
Punisher are the
episode.
dynamic duo,
Yeah.
I guess. Like, they're rivals, I guess you could say. But like, one episode where Tom Holland shows up, dude. Like, Tom Holland don't even gotta
You
be
don't
there.
even
He
have
can
to. Yeah,
wear the mask and
he
have him
can voice
voice.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't even have to be there.
Like, I think that would be sick because, like, to my knowledge, I need to read more Daredevil comics. I really haven't read that much, but to my knowledge, like Daredevil and Spider-Man are kind of like they tag team a bunch in the comics.
Yeah.
Like they're kind of a little bit of a duo. I wouldn't say like major duo, but like they're a little bit of
They
a
do
duo.
share a
The two
villain.
biggest
They do share a
yes.
villain. Like
And they're the
Kingpin is
two
a
biggest.
major villain for both of them.
I mean, they're the two most popular New York-based superheroes in the MCU, which sounds super specific, but most superheroes in Marvel are New York-based. So,
Okay, did you think when Daredevil was like, "We need to build an army," I was like, "Dude, we're getting the Defenders back," and I
dude,
thought we
that's what
were.
I was thinking. Dude, I think it's possible. What I will say is that was a weak ass in credit scene. Like, why even have an in credit scene? Like, oh, Punisher
It's to
escaped.
set up
We
his
all knew.
special. It's to
We
set up his special, which is probably just going to be him wrecking shit on the cops.
yeah,
Would be
like
my guess.
dude, the Punisher is just like it's no surprise my dad watched every episode of his show because it's just John Wick, but it's a different guy. I'm assuming, and like story's probably more character driven,
It
just because
is. I mean, Punisher is really good. I've only seen season one, like I said, but I
Punisher's
recommend.
Punisher's just like a really good like character. It's cool seeing him like to show you how cool like Punisher is, and I'm sure like if anyone here has watched it, I know me and Brighton obviously finished it all, but like I know if anybody here had watched like the Netflix stuff, you would see what happens at the end of like the Hector Ayala episode where he gets shot and you see the Punisher logo. Like me and Brighton, and I'm sure a lot of you guys were like, that was not
That's
John
not
Bernthal.
something Pern thought.
No,
It's
Punisher would
yeah.
be like, "Yo, Hector Ayala, you're saving the wrong people, but respectfully, you're a great guy." Like, bro is not busting the cap in White Tiger. And then it was nice seeing like him in front of like his entire like fan base and being
Oh
like,
yeah.
"We want you to be our leader," and he's just like, "You don't know me, don't worship me."
And that's the crazy thing. They were gonna do this whole like Punisher cop fanboy stuff, but John Bernthal wasn't gonna be in it because he didn't like what they were doing with like Punisher himself. And that would be wild to have all of these cops who like idolize Punisher and just never have him show up, you
I
know?
know,
So
I
I am
agree.
very glad that the show got overhauled. Very glad. And I do think, to a detriment, I do think Muse was supposed to be in the show more. Like, I definitely don't think. I think he was going to be like in just here and there in a few episodes, and maybe he would have been like the main villain of the season. I don't know, but his character feels very wasted, unless he's not dead. But he did get shot multiple times.
Yeah, by the psychiatrist.
Also, fuck her.
Yeah. What can
Heather.
I say? Women are gonna be women. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No. What I will say is, I get it. Like, if we're thinking what she's thinking in her shoes, right? What she knows of Kingpin is a completely different Kingpin than what Daredevil knows. Like, the Kingpin she knows is like legit feelings from Kingpin. He's wanting to save his marriage. So she sees him as this guy who's just trying to make stuff work. And then you also have Daredevil being an asshole to her. I think that's fair to say. Maybe justifiably, but like
Also
still an
waking up and saying Karen to her instead of little not cool there on your part, Matt.
yeah. So like I think it's like I don't think she's turning a blind eye. Like I don't think she's a bad character. I don't think she's gonna just like fall under the Kingpin craze. What I will say is like if we're thinking what she's thinking, she's like, I'm pissed at Matt. I know this would piss him off. Plus, I think he's a good guy. I'm gonna do it. That's probably
Yeah.
what she's thinking. And I think maybe I'd do the same thing. I don't know.
But also, Karen says it's bold of Kingpin because Kingpin didn't go after. I mean, he did go after Daredevil because he knows, but the cops never caught on that Matt and Daredevil are the same person. Because like they say on the radio, it's like the lawyer got away and Daredevil and Punisher are like fucking shit up or whatever. So like she's gonna know because Matt's apartment literally got blown up and there's gonna be like 50 dead cops in there that like Kingpin tried to take him out. He didn't try to take Daredevil out. He tried to take Matt out.
Can we
So
also talk about how like the respect between Kingpin and Daredevil? Like Kingpin knows who Daredevil is. Why he's not like saying Matt Murdock is
yeah,
Daredevil, I have no clue. But
I
I think
know. Yeah.
it's like the respect. It's like I can't take him down the easy way. I guess I don't. It is
But
what it is.
yeah, well, they have the respect there. Like the diner scene, it that was pretty good. Them just like talking, and they like as
It's not
long as you
entirely
stay.
unpleasant seeing you again.
It's like yeah, just both of them are like just stay in your lane, and we'll be cool.
Well,
But
it's
they
cool
they
because
can't can't.
it's cool because at the end of the day, they both want to make New York a better. Matt Murdock's way is, hey, maybe we should just let people vibe and be free. Kingpin's New York is, I need to lead it. I'm the only way I can get all the crap off the streets, and to clean the shit off the streets, I have to become an even shittier person to do it. So I don't know. It's cool.
Yeah,
Kingpin and Daredevil have historically been like great Marvel characters, and it's nice to see them back on the screen.
yeah, we're continuing the trend. They're the standouts because even though Kingpin's the antagonist, you spend half the show with him, so that's why he's the best because he's the other main character. You
Hmm.
get a lot of him. He's not there just being evil. He has his own storylines, and that really helps his character.
Like it was nice. Like my dad. Like, and I think this is good because it shows that like even someone who's not like super like I guess well versed in media just means that like I don't know he doesn't watch as much movies and TV as us I guess I should say. But like my dad watches it and he's just like it's so weird seeing Kingpin like have this wedding have this like marriage therapy and I'm just like that's because like it's showing us that like Kingpin's not like a completely awful dude. Like bro is trying to be a better person. He's trying to save his marriage. He's trying to keep New York alive and well.
It's
It's
weird that
just
the thing
he
that
has a
has to
different
save
way
his
about it.
marriage, it's the thing that has to save his marriage is going back to being a murderer and a
It's because
horrible
Vanessa's wild,
person.
bro. Vanessa is
Vanessa
wild.
is wild, dude.
Well, I mean, to my knowledge, she's that wild in like the comic. I know she's that wild in like Spider Verse. Like Kingpin's doing all this shit, and I think his family is like just fully aware that he's doing all of it.
No, I mean the into the Spider Verse, she sees him attacking Spider Man. Her and her kid run out, and then they get hit by a car. So they're
Oh,
not cool with it.
never mind.
They're not,
Okay, I'm just making up stuff.
dude.
Either
You're
way, I
making
like
it, dude.
Vanessa.
This and the Oscars, dude.
Dude, I just say stuff.
Misinformation.
Dude, I'm fake news.
Okay, but yeah, Bullseye. So glad he's actually in the show. Blows my
Bullseye.
mind that they weren't originally going to use him.
Can we talk about how we're making Bullseye a better character? I think as well. Like Bullseye in season 3, he's just like like I don't want to say stereotypical. Like you can tell he's a broken man that like clearly just has like is not mentally healthy, and then like obviously Kingpin doesn't help with that. So like he's a good character, but like he's surface level. You're like just typical insane villain.
Yeah,
Here you can tell that like he's had a lot of time to just think, and like whenever he wanted to talk to Daredevil, he literally was just like he didn't apologize, but like you could tell he was just like wanting help. And
he's not well. He lost Julia, and I feel a lot of pity for him in this season that it didn't
mhm,
in the other ones because there's that one scene he's talking to Vanessa, and you can tell he doesn't want to do the hit, but he's going to anyway because he just literally can't help himself because he's mentally ill.
yeah, I think that he's gonna be a really like. What if the team is Daredevil, Punisher,
Bull
and
and
Bullseye?
Bullseye, dude, that would be dope. That would
I
be
think it'd
so
be sick.
cool.
I think
And
it'd be sick.
we'll talk about some leaked set photos hereafter because that'll be technically season 2 spoilers, minor, but I have some theories on some of them. But yeah, this show was my favorite MCU show, especially the last 2 episodes were amazing.
Peak.
The I love that Daredevil can't help himself but save Kingpin, even though like
I
what
thought that was
Kingpin
great.
he would be totally justified in letting him die, especially with what had done in the past and also what he does in episode 9. It is and especially like Daredevil being like, it's like why do you do that? And he's like, I don't know.
Can we talk about like and then once again, this can go back like with just secret identities in general. But how is no one at least a little suspicious about Matt Murdock being a vigilante?
Because he's
There's
blind.
no. What do you mean because he's blind? He multiple eyewitnesses, at least one. Like I'm pretty sure he probably like had to be interviewed on the news of him being the one that saved them in the bank robbery. He's definitely on the news for saving Kingpin, and like he's done all these things and people are just like, "Oh, he's blind. He's just blind guy. He's a cool blind guy." It's like no one ever thinks like, "Hey, he's doing a lot of weird things lately."
Yeah, there's that one scene in the bar where you're like, obviously Cherry knows that he's Daredevil, but like he just gets up and walks out, and then she's like, he wasn't using his cane, and then Cherry's like, oh, he probably was, or something like that. It's like,
But I don't know. Like it could be also like an invincible situation of like if you dropped us in that situation and we weren't expecting to see a superhero, we wouldn't see one. So like I don't know. I don't
yeah,
think it's bad though. I also think the concept of secret identities though in the world of that we live in now is impossible.
oh yeah, it would get found out immediately. But
The internet is undefeated.
oh yeah, but I guess if you don't want to hear about potential season 2 spoilers, move away. But there's nothing really big, just some suits and some people in it. So Daredevil finally gets a black suit and he gets the 2Ds.
That's what
He
we
gets
love to
the
see.
DD on the chest, and he looks like he just spray painted the red suit, which is fine. It's fine with me. And the Bullseye outfit for season 2 looks pretty nice. And I really get some vibes that they're gonna team up, like you said, just from like some of the set photos and videos. I'm like, are we gonna get just because they're both gonna want to take, obviously Bullseye's not on Fist's side after that season. He's gonna want to have him killed. So
Yeah, here I'll look up Bullseye. Oh, is this like the leaked set photo?
yeah, and he
It was
actually has
also
the logo on the helmet finally. So
wait. Here, let me see. Bullseye C2 set.
bear with us.
I don't see it.
Okay, well, it's pretty dope. It's got some purple in there, got some black, got some blue. It looks pretty
It does
nice.
look good. Can I zoom
So
in? Reddit's gonna help me out here. So yeah, I don't see the logo in it, but maybe I'm blind.
it's kind of like indented into his helmet. So,
Okay.
but
But it looks good. It's
it was
probably
easier to see
comic
on
accurate.
Twitter.
What's Twitter?
Oh yeah, sorry, X. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
thumbs up for me. I love Daredevil.
Yes. Once again, must watch if you are a Marvel fan, especially if you're a fan of the Netflix series. Which, if you're a fan of the Netflix series, I trust that you've already like watched it.
And if you're gonna watch this, just watch season 1 through 3 of Daredevil, please, and Defenders. So
Looking ahead next week, what do we possibly have planned? Even though
I
we're kind of
have
inconsistent.
no idea. If we tell people what we're gonna do, chances are we're not gonna do it. I don't even know what we said we were gonna do this week, last week, and then that one week we said Spider Verse, and we didn't. So
Yeah, classic. Our word is means
what
nothing.
even comes out next week?
We could
Here,
talk
okay,
about Sinners if it's good, and assuming I
let's
will
see.
have watched it. I don't
Okay,
know.
so next week, Sinners was on the. It does come out, so we could talk about Sinners if we get around to seeing it, which we wouldn't be very reliable podcasting, bringing you reviews if we didn't. So if it ends up actually being good, we'll see. May do that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't know. And then we'll come up with something to talk about. Like we could do like Oscar snubs or something.
yeah.
Also, like, a lot of stuff or just ideas. Like we could go over like each other's like top 10 favorite movies or something and just like dog on each other for our opinions. I mean, we've done it before, but because I already know where Brighton stands, he probably knows where I stand. I think we'd agree on most things, but we'll see. There's
We
some
have some
things I
difference of
disagree with.
opinions sometimes, believe it or not.
I
So
like happy endings, and that is my downfall.
so yeah. There is Spotify comments, so if you have ideas, you can leave them there. Same with YouTube. Usually this goes up on YouTube. So
Yeah, just let us know what you want, and we will. I mean, we read every comment, so
yep. So anyways, everybody have a good one. We'll see you next week.
goodbye.